A Life Interrupted. Remembering Lauren Spierer. Lauren Spierer was a bright, bubbly young woman with a contagious smile. She was just 20 years old, a student at Indiana University. Originally from Scarsdale, New York, Lauren was studying fashion merchandising. She dreamed of a career in the fashion industry. Friends and family described Lauren as kind, compassionate, and full of life. She was a loyal friend, a dedicated student, and a beloved daughter and sister. Lauren was a young woman with so much promise, her future stretching out before her like an unpainted canvas. But on a warm summer night in 2011, that future was tragically cut short. Lauren's story is not just about a disappearance, but about the life that preceded it. It's about a young woman who loved to laugh, who cherished her friends and family, and who approached life with a vibrant energy. It's about the dreams she held, and the future she was building. Understanding Lauren, the person, makes her disappearance all the more poignant, the loss all the more profound. The Vanishing, a Night Out ends in silence. June 3, 2011, began like any other Thursday night in Bloomington, Indiana. College students, eager for the weekend, filled the bars and restaurants around the Indiana University campus. Among them was Lauren Spierer, out with friends for a night of fun and camaraderie. Lauren started her evening at Kilroy's Sports Bar, a popular student hangout. Security footage captured her last recorded moments inside the bar. At 2:27 a.m., Lauren left Kilroy's with a fellow student, Corey Rossman. She left her shoes and cell phone behind, a detail that would later become a key focus of the investigation. Lauren and Corey returned to her apartment complex, Smallwood Plaza. They visited Corey's apartment where his roommate Michael Beth encountered them. Michael later told police he tried to persuade Lauren to stay at their apartment, but she insisted on leaving with Corey. The pair then went to another apartment belonging to Jay Rosenbaum. Rosenbaum, who would later become a central figure in the investigation, told police he last saw Lauren around 4:30 a.m. walking alone south on College Avenue. That was the last confirmed sighting of Lauren Spierer. Searching for answers, the early investigation. When Lauren failed to show up for work and classes the next day, her friends and family knew something was terribly wrong. They immediately reported her missing, and the search for Lauren Spierer began. The Bloomington Police Department launched a full-scale investigation, interviewing friends, classmates, and anyone who might have seen Lauren that night. Search parties made up of volunteers and law enforcement combed through Bloomington, desperate for any sign of the missing student. Days turned into weeks, and the initial hope that Lauren would be found safe and sound began to dwindle. The early stages of the investigation focused on retracing Lauren's steps the night she disappeared. Investigators meticulously pieced together her movements, relying on eyewitness accounts, security footage, and phone records. They interviewed the young men who had been with Lauren that night, Corey Rossman, Michael Beth, and Jay Rosenbaum, multiple times, hoping to uncover any detail that might lead them to her whereabouts. Despite their efforts, the investigation seemed to hit dead end after dead end. The mystery of Lauren Spierer's disappearance deepened with each passing day. A community's hope fades, the Landfill Search. As the weeks turned into months, the search for Lauren Spierer took a grim turn. With no credible leads or evidence emerging, investigators began to consider the possibility that Lauren had met with foul play. In a heartbreaking and desperate move, the search shifted to the Sycamore Ridge landfill, a sprawling 1,500-acre site where Bloomington's trash was taken. For 9 grueling days, investigators and volunteers sifted through mountains of garbage, enduring the stench and the emotional toll of their grim task. The Landfill Search, one of the largest and most extensive in Indiana history, captured the attention of the nation. People across the country held their breath, hoping against hope that some clue, some trace of Lauren would be found. But after 9 days, the search was called off. No sign of Lauren was ever found at the landfill. The failure to find any trace of Lauren at the landfill dealt a devastating blow to both the investigation and the hopes of her family and friends. It also solidified the grim reality that Lauren's disappearance was likely not a case of a missing person, but something far more sinister. Section 5. Seeking Justice. The Spierer family fights back. Devastated by their daughter's disappearance and frustrated by the lack of answers, Robert and Charlene Spierer, Lauren's parents, refused to let her case go cold. In 2013, they filed a civil lawsuit against Corey Rossman, Michael Beth, and Jay Rosenbaum, the 3 young men who were last seen with Lauren. The lawsuit alleged that the men had been negligent in their care for Lauren, contributing to her disappearance. The Spierers argued that the men had provided Lauren with alcohol, even though she was already intoxicated and had failed to ensure her safety. The lawsuit, while heartbreaking, was a strategic move by the Spierer family. They hoped that by filing a civil suit, they could compel the men to provide more information about that night, information they believed the men were withholding. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through the Bloomington community and reignited national interest in the case. However, the legal battle proved to be an uphill climb for the Spierer family. In 2015, a judge dismissed the lawsuit, ruling that the Spierers' claims were speculative and that there was not enough evidence to prove that the men were responsible for Lauren's disappearance. Section 6. Whispers in the Dark: Theories and Speculation. In the absence of concrete answers, theories and speculation have swirled around Lauren Spierer's disappearance for over a decade. Some believe that Lauren, who had been drinking that night, may have accidentally overdosed and that her death was covered up. Others suspect foul play, theorizing that Lauren may have been abducted by a stranger, her disappearance timed perfectly during a brief window when she was alone. The possibility that Lauren's disappearance could be linked to other unsolved cases, including the high-profile disappearance of Indiana University student Hannah Wilson in 2015, has also been investigated, but no direct connections have ever been established. Adding to the mystery is the behavior of the men who were last seen with Lauren. They have consistently maintained their innocence, but their refusal to take polygraph tests, and their decision to hire lawyers shortly after Lauren's disappearance have fueled suspicion. The Spierer family has publicly stated that they believe the men know more than they are letting on, and that their actions have hindered the investigation. Theories continue to circulate online, fueled by armchair detectives and true crime enthusiasts, but none have led to a definitive answer about what happened to Lauren Spierer. Section 7. A Glaring Lens: Media Coverage and Public Perception. Lauren Spierer's disappearance, like many missing persons cases involving young, attractive white women, garnered intense media scrutiny. The case became a national obsession, dominating headlines and cable news cycles. Lauren's story, tragically, checked all the boxes for a media frenzy. A young white college student from a well-to-do family vanished without a trace from a seemingly safe college town. The media coverage, while raising awareness, also sparked conversations about the often criticized missing white woman syndrome, the phenomenon in which cases involving young, white, middle-class females receive disproportionate media attention compared to cases involving people of color or from marginalized communities. Critics argued that the extensive coverage of Lauren's case overshadowed other missing persons cases, perpetuating a harmful hierarchy of victims. The media's portrayal of Lauren, often focusing on her physical appearance and social life, also drew criticism for perpetuating gender stereotypes and victim-blaming narratives. The way Lauren's case was covered exposed the often unequal and biased nature of missing persons reporting, highlighting the need for more equitable and responsible media coverage of such cases. Section 8. 14 years later. The Unending Search for Lauren Spierer. 14 years have passed since Lauren Spierer vanished from the streets of Bloomington, but the search for answers continues. Despite the passage of time, the Bloomington Police Department maintains an active investigation, diligently pursuing every lead and tip that comes in. Over the years, investigators have chased down thousands of tips, conducted countless interviews, and executed numerous search warrants, but Lauren's case remains unsolved. The case has seen its share of twists and turns, false leads, and dead ends. The Bloomington Police Department, along with the FBI, remains committed to finding out what happened to Lauren and bringing closure to her family and friends. They continue to urge anyone with information, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem, to come forward. The case, though cold in some respects, is a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of hope. Even after all these years, the hope for answers, for justice, for Lauren, burns bright. Section 9. A Community Forever Changed: Lauren Spierer's Legacy. Lauren Spierer's disappearance left an indelible mark on Bloomington, Indiana. The tragedy shook the college town to its core, shattering its sense of safety and innocence. Lauren's case became a stark reminder that even in seemingly idyllic settings, darkness can lurk, and tragedy can strike without warning. The impact of Lauren's disappearance extended far beyond the Indiana University campus, reaching into homes and communities across the country. It forced people to confront their own vulnerabilities and the unsettling reality that sometimes, people vanish without a trace. In the years since Lauren's disappearance, her case has become a chilling reminder of the importance of personal safety and the devastating consequences that can result from a night out gone wrong. It has sparked conversations about campus safety, responsible alcohol consumption, and the critical need to look out for one another. While the pain of Lauren's absence remains palpable, her legacy lives on in the hearts of those who loved her, and in the ongoing efforts to find answers and prevent similar tragedies from happening again.